Generic greetings and welcome back to Prison Architect, where in the previous episode we had a bit of a nightmare when it came to the rewiring. If we go over to utilities here, you can see that we have a total of 3 power stations and you can see the different coloured grids there. And although we've only got the one workshop out of the 8 planned, and that's just on the current map before we do the expansion, although I don't anticipate any more workshops. But regardless, if we look at the power usage, we can see 2 of them are about 40% and the other ones probably on like 15-20%, so not very high at all. But either way, when you consider that each workshop will take a big chunk of that, we need at least a couple of power stations. In fact, we need a power plant that'll go here probably. We'll probably expand to that side, get some forestry and a big power plant around here, but that's a future us problem. We also finished off the common room and some more parole and all of the secondary buildings that you don't necessarily need but the prison does benefit from, so your library, mailroom, shop, that sort of thing. We do have a couple of issues. You can see that these doors are not yet automated, so we do have a lot of delays in and around the facility. Also, because of the type of prisoners that we got, and we've got quite a number of them, 106 prisoners, 112 in total, which will receive 6 more in a couple of minutes. We do have a lot of people in here, but when it comes to working, if we go over to the logistics there, you can see we've got a total of 15 prisoners qualified for this workshop, but considering the amount of prisoners that we have, that's a quite low amount. So what I'm hoping to do is bring in some medium-risk prisoners, and hopefully they'll start working in here, but that makes its own problems, because if we go over to intelligence informants, we can see that we have 1, 2, 3 ex-law enforcement and also a couple of unknown traits and extremely quick. I'm not really worried about that one, but because of the ex-law enforcement, they can be targeted and probably will by prisoners of medium risk, because they can be a little bit more violent than this low risk stuff. Also, we have to factor in that when we bring them in, we need to put them into another dormitory, which currently isn't built, but the main focus really is on getting the security increased in the place, because we did originally plan for it just to be low risk, but I think we're going to trial at least one full dormitory of medium risk, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. We don't know until we know, but we'll have to give it a go. But in order to do that, we do need extra security, which is what this building is for, and it's what we'll be building together now. So this is going to be several things inside here. We're going to have a security room right at the front. This is where we'll just have it is actually designated as security, and we'll be able to talk to snitches and things like that. We do then need a couple of extra things. We need a room for CCTV, for automatic door openers, and for phone taps. And we also need a room for the armory, because we do plan on doing a taser rollout, and you need an armory for that. We don't necessarily have to get any armed guards, but if we're going to do a taser rollout, then it's probably something that we need. And we also need, as a priority really, we also need to get some protective custody, which will go probably either side here. So let's have a rough plan of that. Now, protective custody, you could do it several ways. Now, I was originally going to do 4x4s, but looking at the size of this building, I don't think that's going to be practical, just because of the sizing of the thing. And because, yeah, so we're going to have like a weird shape at the end there, and it's going to sort of be a bit of a... yeah, it's going to be a bit of a waste. Considering that the protective custody prisoners should never leave here, they need everything on hand. So they need toilet showers, they need... that's not a combination, by the way, it's toilet and shower. They need somewhere to eat, so they'll need a bit of a canteen in there. They'll also need a common room, but we'll also put some, like... weight benches in there, as well as some prayer mats and such. And that can go in here. But where and what size do we need these rooms? I mean, we could just go for... I mean, I don't think building it that size would be a decent thing to do. I mean, that's... having it too small, having it as a 3x2 would probably be too small, but a 2x4 isn't too bad. Let me just expand that down to there, and let's see if this fits in. I have a feeling that it will, but let's just see. It's a gut instinct that it will, and it does fit in quite well, actually. Let's assume, perhaps... that we go on the other side and do the exact same thing, but not all the way down the bottom, because I've got a plan for that one. And we do the same here. So let's just see how many rooms we'd have then if we did something like this. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. 20, 21 if we had that, but we're not going to have it as that size. In fact, we're probably not going to have it as that size. The thing I think is that, actually, do we need it that big? I don't think we do. We could probably put another one in there. Assuming we do something like that, we have the entrance here. like that, and that goes into this protective custody area. Obviously all of these will have your doors on it like so all the way along. That is a fairly decent amount of protective custody. Also, we need to build a solitary as well before we get the other prisoners. But if we assume we do something like that, then in the centre here we can easily make, because it'll be, how many, 4 by something? It'll be 4 by whatever. We can easily put in the centre all of our kitchen, and not kitchen, sorry, the canteen and things like that in there. So that would function, I think, and that would be a decent size. For this building here, we could do a number of things, but I'm thinking if we sort of... do we need this door here? I don't think we do. We could always do that, just redo the room and then split it in 2. And then this is the armory and this is the security room for all CCTV. Let me just double check the armory. The armory requires no minimum sizing, so that should be acceptable. And that'll be about right as well. It means that this is some sort of weird dimension, but it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter that this is a weird size. Okay. I think we could do something like that. And then it means we've got a fairly big bit here. We could also, if we wanted to, increase the size of it somewhat and just maybe go down to there and then do something like that. And then, is that too big? We don't need that much CCTV and stuff in there. No, I think the original plan was perfectly acceptable. So let's do that then. Let's go on the premise of that. Obviously, we can always change these later on if the situation arises that we need to do that. So let's go ahead and we will dismantle that jail door. We will put in the object there. Actually, I'll speed up to max speed while I crack on and remove that door. And actually inside there, cleaning by the look of it as well. So, waiting for that worker to finish that. Yeah, now we're going to do that. That's fine. And then we'll put the jail door in there. We are going to go over to demolish walls. We need to demolish those walls there. And then we'll build a couple more walls around there and probably go ahead and do this. I was going to clone it, but I think we should be alright with just building it like so. So this is going to be our protective custody area. I will make a model room and then clone the rest of the internal stuff. I'm not going to bother with too much of the... I'm not going to bother with trying to place all the things by hand when we can clone it. So, looks like there's a drug overdose there, but they are getting taken over there, so that's fine. In terms of the armory and the other rooms, we're just going to do that, and that should be acceptable. We'll also put a jail door on either side, like there and there, and that should hopefully be a fairly secure area. Now, obviously, the kennel is still over this side. I was thinking about moving it, but I think we're probably going to stick with what we've got for the time being. Right, okay, so that is now done. We want to make sure that these are set to certain designations. So we'll go for staff only on that one and that one, protective custody on that one, and then that one is open. So that's exactly what we wanted. So surprisingly, it functions somehow. So let's make a model room either side, and then we know that we can clone it from there. Although it will be cloning the lights, so... yeah, I cannot. Okay, so bed. We'll go. We'll go there and there. The toilet will go probably there and there, and then on the edge we will have a drain and a shower. I was very tempted to. Actually, I'm gonna get rid of that bed and rotate it around. I was very tempted to perhaps go for like. A common shower in here, but decided against it for some reason. And they're designated as cells, and we will need some water. It looks like the water pipe we did bring up to here, which is good. I will expand it to there, simply because there's going to be some toilets in there too. Right, so for all of this, do we just build right across, like that? Is that the most inefficient way possible, just building right across? We could run it right down, but we're going to have 2, so I think we'll just go across like so, like that. And then obviously we'll clone the rest of it as well. In terms of the prison running, we don't really need to do much. It's sort of pretty much running itself now. Obviously we do need to keep an eye out for escapes and things like that, and do checks, periodic checks with shakedown and such, but it's not like a calamity if we don't. Let's just check the prison grading there. Refunding rate has gone down. Punishment is 7. That's good. Reform is 4. Security is 2. Health -1. So some improvements all around, but not brilliant. There's looks like to be another overdose, but they're going to be taken there, so that's perfectly fine. And they're sort of stuck in the wall by the look of it. Right, so we're going to do a full shakedown because we haven't done one in quite some time. We have a total of 561 places to search. If we go over to last 24 hours, we'll be able to see some of the stuff that we've found or detected. So we can see like someone trying to nick a saw. We've got detected as soon as it went there. It's not really too much of a surprise there. Loads of mobile phones, and good grief, that's got some miles on it. You can see all the where the mobile phones came and went. Yeah, it's definitely went quite a ways. Most of it has been thrown in. That is obviously the issue with this facility, that it doesn't have a perimeter wall around it. Sorry, when I say perimeter wall, I don't actually mean the perimeter wall, because that doesn't actually stop things getting thrown in, but we don't have a gap of 10 from the end, so that's what I mean there. Right, so it looks like we're still waiting for this to be placed. I'm checking deployment, and luckily that has still stayed on staff, on protective custody, which is exactly what we want there. So that's good. They're going to crack on and do that. In the meantime, what I'll do is I'll go to rooms. I'm going to just reduce this down to normal speed there, and we're going to go to security, and we're going to designate this as security like so. We're not going to designate this next one as security. I don't think that is strictly necessary. We're going to go for an armory in here. I was tempted to put the armory there, but it means that it's just closer to the security room where people can be brought in and interrogated anyway, so yeah, probably not the way forward. So that's going to go in there. Security room will be... I'm just putting the flooring in here. We'll do something like that, perhaps. Actually, you know what? I will worry about the flooring later on. For the armory, iron floor would be quite nice, I think. And same for this room as well. There we go. And we're probably going to use concrete... yeah, to be fair, we are probably going to use concrete tiles for the rest of this anyway, so I might as well place them in. So concrete tiles to there. Concrete tiles to there, and what's the rest? Mosaic? I think it's mosaic, yeah. And we'll place the mosaic in, like so. And then we know that this is fully done anyway. In terms of money, 73,000, you know, getting 7,400 plus a day. So, in terms of cash, we really have nothing to worry about there. Alright, so all the planning I can remove. I don't think we need that. I'm tempted to start building over here, but for the time being we'll leave it. We do need solitary, but we're focusing on this. As long as we get this done this episode, I'll be content. Right, so we're going to force that open there. Hang on, no, they're not, oh, they don't need it. No, now they're needing it. Apparently it's not working. Oh, it's just because of the tab order. Anyway, so that's the armory. This is going to be our non-designated security room. I'll place in some of the stuff in here. Weapons rack, I tend to put... Oh, you can actually rotate the weapons rack now as well, which is fairly cool. I tend to put the weapons rack as far as far away as possible, simply because that's where they have to, I think, get their stuff if they break in. Although it could be... I could be telling porky pies about them. Could be telling lies. Nah, anyway. So, over here we do need a couple of things. We need door servos, which we don't have because we don't have remote access. Okay, I will unlock remote access. I'm going to unlock tasers and body armor, and we're not going to get guard towers. Legal prep. We could go for legal prep. I am going to go for permanent punishments and also not legal prep just yet because we don't have a great... Well, we do have a decent amount of cash, but we don't have enough for we don't have enough for the extra stuff. Right, so we'll go to rooms. We'll type in office. We're going to place an office in here, and then we will hire a lawyer because we currently don't have one. And there we go. And they're going to start researching there. Also, I will remove the bit of planning which is there. In fact, I don't think there's any planning to be... I don't think there's any planning really anywhere else that we need. I'll remove that in there, remove that around there, and then remove the rest of it around there. There we are. Okay, so Armory is getting built. We've got, just double checking that that is still staff only. Yes, it is. They are finishing off these. I'll wait for them to place all of the flooring in first, and then I'll go ahead and clone the rest down. Looks like this cell is now all lit up, which is good, and connected. That's fine. Let's go over to quick build and cloning, and we're going to clone that like so, because we do need to get the door in. Now, obviously, this is going to place the light, so that's a bit of a shame, but at least it's going to be quite a bright area. And then we'll go down like so. And there was a ding-a-ling noise there. That is almost certainly... Oh, I think that was 10 prisoners past the foundation education course. That could have been that. Let me just check bureaucracy there. Yeah, it wasn't anything else by the look of it, so that's fairly cool. Let me just double-check then. In our programs, we've got that still running. Going to go down to general education for interested, so we're going to start that, and all rooms booked. We will cancel one of these then and reschedule all that, just so we can see if we can pass that, and that'll be reformed through education. Reformed through education initiative. You can see that we are going for the max sec infrastructure grant 2, which is unlock body armor through bureaucracy, which we're working on, unlock tasers through bureaucracy, which we're working on. We need to place CCTV monitors and cameras as well throughout the facility. This room does require a guard locker. We do have 2, so we might as well place them. As I said, we're not planning really on building the armory. Oh, you can see that, that all the guards tend to congregate around this area. This is where we have our security room here, so that's fine. I think we'll place... where do we want to place the... I like the idea of the desk in maybe there, so when you come in, they sort of check your pass and things like that. Final cabinets can go... probably up the top there like that, and then we'll place a couple of chairs in this corner, and that'll be about right. So let's go over here. We do need well, actually we need to wait for the grants to be completed, so we'll see how that one goes. It's 40 grand to expand to the left, and we are going to do that eventually, because not only do we need essentially a full power plant, so multiple extra of these in the power generation, the generators and such. We also need oh, that's just about the workshop. We also, I wouldn't say need, but we probably want the forestry. That might change the layout of these things though, because at the moment we've got a 50-50 ratio of saws and presses. We don't need all of the presses, because if you just saw them and you saw that wood into planks, and then you sell the planks. There's a ding-a-ling noise. That is body armor through bureaucracy, so this is all of the guards in the game here running straight. They make a beeline straight to the armory to pick up the body armor there. But it does mean that if it does kick off, they are more protected. And I also haven't fully cloned everything by the look of it. Let me just go over to our quick build there and cloning, and we've still got it selected, so we can place that there. And once again, we'll check deployment. Yes, themselves are still designated as protective custody, which is fine. So we do need a couple of things. Several things, in fact. So we need, in terms of rooms, we need... probably a common room, but first I think it's important that we get the canteen. The canteen will go in here. In terms of the sizing, that is probably acceptable. I like the sort of walkway around the outside, that's quite nice. And then we've got like a bit of a weird layout here, so how we're going to place this? Well, we can't place it there, we can't place it there. It'd be very nice to be able to place it there, but it's not going to happen. So I guess we'll have to place it... that's really annoying. Very tempted to get rid of that cell and just have it there. No, that wouldn't really work out too well. We need tables, and we do need the tables and other things in here, so I'll tell you what, table there, bench either side, bench either side, and then it runs along there. No, it's all based on where this is going to go. We could put them back to back like that, couldn't we? But I don't think we need to. But it does look good. We don't necessarily need to, but it's not too problematic. Right, okay, let's place the rest of the stuff in then. So tables, tables, and tables. How many do we need? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20 in total. So we've got 4, 8, 12, 16, and a little bit extra. Okay, that's fine. So that is our canteen, which we will expand to... I can't see where the expansion is to there. Okay, so canteen to there. There we go. And then we want a common room, which will be in there. Oh, hang on, that is definitely a tunnel. Yep, tunnel found. So, we've got people with scissors, by the look of it. And that is snitch and ex-law enforcement. Tom Gibbs, 43, prison number 3297324, sentenced 11 years for multiple crimes, including burglary and perjury. And you can see they've tunneled out to there. And that is they've actually quite damaged there. It's got to remove tunnels and get rid of that. I'll prioritise that as well. But there we go. And this is because we've got dogs. We have the dogs that... Because we have Periwinkle as our boss, or the person in charge, rather, they have a 50% chance of detecting things like that straight away, which is good. I'm going to go down to security here and place another filing cabinet, and I'm also going to place a bin. Probably... Where do I want to place a bin? Nice to have a bin somewhere. I'll place it in the armory there, like so. So this canteen is... it says no prisoners assigned to eat. Well, that's yes, we are aware of that. Very well aware of that. Common room at the back here, we need a couple of things. We need phone booths, we need pool tables. No, we don't need pool tables because they're too big. We need probably a TV, like so, and then we can say that. So there's 9 people that can be on that. We need weights benches. It's going to get cramped, this thing, isn't it? Ideally, we want prayer mats as well. And phone booths. Although, I'm very tempted just to put the phone booths on the end here. I'm also very tempted to just shrink this down. I don't think we need... I think we can dismantle them. I don't think we need... I think 16 is enough, even though it's 20 capacity. The prisoners don't all need to eat exactly on the time. So as soon as as soon as time, go for it. They don't need to eat straight away. So they do have 2 hours to deal with them, deal with that need. Okay, so that's fine. We'll go for a couple of phone booths. Probably either side. Well, I want prayer mats along there, like so. And then phone booths like that. And that is a cramped common room, but it's got what we need in for the most part, I think. Right, so there's that fine. Let me go over to our area here, and we want phone taps. Phone taps. How many phone taps do we want? I think we're looking for probably just the one. I think just the one. So that's fine. For door control systems, though, it is size of 2. We'll probably need a couple. 2 of those. CCTV monitor. Yes, we won't be able to place it on the other side. That's a problem. I don't think we can place it on the other side. We'll place that there. Yeah, because they'll be standing where the same person should stand. You can still shuffle them around like that, and it would work. And let me get rid of those. Actually, we'll place CCTV. We're building for the future here. Automatic. Oh, is it door control system? which I don't know where they stand when they're using that. That's a problem then. How many do we need? We're not going to have these on automatic door openers. We're just going to keep them locked open. These are going to be the same thing. These we do need automatic door openers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 servos, Chief's calling. One of the spiritual leaders bringing our religious programs has been rallying up the inmates and all kinds of hateful speech. They've been fired, but the prisoners will take some time to cool down. Okay, no problem. So yeah, in terms of automatic door openers, 1, 2, 3. No, we're not going to have that large jail door with an automatic door opener. Actually, no. No, we're not, because there's a person just wandering around in here anyway. So 1 there, 1 there. 1 there, 1 there. Okay, we need 2. I think with 2 automatic door openers is a sensible decision. So we'll place them. The door control systems, like I say, it depends on where they stand, but I'm going to place them there. That might have to be changed, and then we'll put 2 of the phone taps in there. Right, so I think we're going to leave it there. Let me just actually get some guard patrols in here, just so we can get some line of sight as well. There we go. And dog patrols. We'll have to do that so it doesn't connect up to the other one. And we'll patrol around there. And that is our security area. I think it's quite good. We just got six grand from early prisoner releases there. So that is our security room. Currently not powered up. We'll go ahead and sort that out. Is that actually placed? No, it's just box. It does say box, contents, phone tab. Right. So next episode then, what we'll do is we will connect up all of those. We'll get the CCTV cameras up and running. We'll get the door servos in. We will then get probably the solitary up, and then we'll see about perhaps getting some medium risk prisoners. The question is, where do we put them? Do we put them on the edge? I don't know what their chances of tunneling are. Or do we put them more in the centre? I'm probably going to displace low risk and then put them over there, but we'll see how we'll see how we get on anyway. Either way, I hope you have enjoyed the video and the series thus far. Thank you very much for watching. Take care, and generic partings.